Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Finally, senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. And if you are a bigot, that is a terrible character flaw. There are worse character flaws, but the point being it's a character flaw. And it is indeed a brand new day, and not only a brand new day. Here it is bright and sunny and already warm. It's so bright and sunny, I actually went partial walkies already. Only partial, because I walked here from here, I can English, from here to Walmart and then back. I was going to walk down to the library, but I ended up purchasing heavy stuff, like melatonin, a big old bucket of melatonin, and Tylenol, and stuff like that, so it ended up being heavy. And I didn't want to walk to Walmart with a big old heavy thing. Oh, I got rid of the bag. I have a Walmart bag with a notebook in it, and it's empty. And as soon as I finish uploading this and it's all done, I'm walking from here to our local library, which is less than a mile away. But the route that I'm going to take goes along a nature trail along a stream, and it takes work to go on that. So, and it's fun, so I enjoy it. And then I'm going to get to the library, get some printing, and then head on back. There is a game called Dungeons with an expansion, Dragonfang Mountains, where they have cards. Now, I have cards, and I don't have anything here to help me with the show and tell portion of this. But with the game Dungeon Crawl, there we are, it too had cards, and I figured out that if I print out on paper and then cut out the card size pieces, and then I take a playing card like this, put it inside of a plastic playing card sleeve to protect it, and then take the cut out pieces of paper and slide them in between the card and the sleeve, suddenly I've got a really cheap DIY, looks awful but works card to play the game. So I'm going to be going down and printing out, well, yeah, it's going to print out the rule set, the expansion, and then there's 2 6-page sections with 5 of those, 9 cards each. Last page, only 3. So it's not very many cards. And they're 12. It's a 12-year-old game. I keep saying they're a 12-year-old game. But one's an expansion to the other. 12-year-old games, or 13 by this time. They came out in 2012. But as I've already seen on this one company, Greywood Publishing, they used to have a website. They talk about in a catalog and all this about all this stuff that they had that you could buy. There's no sign of it anywhere anymore. It makes me wonder what happened to the company, to the people, to the products. Why did they pull them? What happened? Like in this case, they did a one game, did an expansion. What happened? Especially since that was just the first in a long line of planned expansions. Did they die? Did they lose interest? It just makes me wonder, because I don't know how to ever find out. Thumbs up. But I'm going to go and get those things, make up the cards, and that's a thing that I've had. It's something that I bought off Drive-Thru RPG some time ago. I can't even remember how long back, but it was one of those, well, there's cards, oh great, sort of situations. So I never did anything with it. But now that I know how to make cards, and there's not many, I am going to get that done and then give it a shot. I still have everything else in the world to play, which adds up to a not an eyelash falling into my eye, but that's a little sticky part there. It adds up to a pressure that is hard for me to push through to get things done. Because it's like you have your image of what the thing is that you're going up against, and you keep making it bigger and harder to get up to, and so it takes so much energy to get up to these things that it becomes impossible at times. Joy on that. Now let me take a look up here, because the other thing that I want to talk about just real quick before I talk about one thing that's really horrible, but I'm also going to talk about it because it made me laugh. I watched the beginnings of another video that's called Would Aliens Be Edible? Now, the point of their video was, if we were able to travel to other galaxies, would we be able to sustain ourselves by eating alien plant life or animal life or whatever kind of life there is? Would our systems be able to integrate this alien material safely or at all? Which is something that has been, thought about in science fiction ever since the beginning days of forever. But my immediate thought on that was, finally, someone is asking the correct questions. If we find intelligent life out in the galaxy, can we just eat them? Just find out where their planet is, go there and eat them. Yeah, they're an intelligent alien race. But do they taste good? And can we fill our bellies with them? And if we can, should we? And in fact, is it ethical for us as a planetary species to roam the galaxy looking for intelligent alien races just so that we can eat them? And I was thinking, finally, here's a channel asking the right questions. But no, they shy away from the questions of, is it ethical for us to perform planetary species annihilation by eating them? But no, they skirt around it. Yay. Still, though, that's something that you can think about, and if you have an answer or any sort of other questions, drop those into the comments. Let me know how you think about roaming the galaxy, looking for intelligent alien races that we can eat. Now, the other thing that is really silly that I wanted to talk about is I found another channel that's doing these, unfortunately, AI music videos of the victorious penguins from the, like, McDonald Island and all that, where we put tariffs on an island where there's no one but penguins. And more, there's other channels that have the children of the ice under their banner of the snowflake on red, and how they've triumphed over evil and all this. And taking a look at what else, this one particular video ended with, basically there was penguin sleeper agents all the way through the nations, and we need to be careful because they are there. They're doing their work for the penguin nations. And they ended with, if you feel a chilly breeze, we were there. We never leave. So yeah, the penguins, we're gonna lose. We are losing. And I'm all for it. We need to lose to the penguins. So thumbs up on that. I will willingly bow down to my penguin overlords. But speaking of penguin overlords, this one The title of the video from the channel Fascinating Horror is Magic Trick Gone Wrong Kills 11, The Great Lafayette. And I was thinking, okay, 11 people dead from a magic trick, that's not gone wrong. That is pretty damn good. And if you got a magic trick that takes out that many people, that's efficiency right there. But as it turns out, the actual story is tragic. Number one, because of the one person that was the main person. Yeah, kind of in it, a person called the Great Lafayette. Sigmund's, I can't remember what his name was, way back. He was born before 1900, and then this tragedy happened in 1911. But 11 people died, for real. But this fellow was so dependent on his pet dog that when the pet dog grew ill and died at age 15, which was pretty good for a dog, considering it got no exercise and was just overindulged in fatty foods. When this dog died, he was so distraught, he said, I'm not going to survive without my dog. It was not a magic trick gone wrong. There was a magic trick that was supposed to occur. But in the theater, they had a whole bunch of lanterns. And this is back in the day when they didn't have a lot of the stuff we have, and fire was way more of a serious thing. Something caught on fire. The trick never started. It was a bit of the background stuff that caught, and then the rest of the stuff on the stage started to burn. The magic trick never had a chance. So they lied to us right there. But it was actually a testimony to things going right, even in the face of things going wrong. Because even as the fire started, the fire curtain was dropped, but it couldn't go all the way down because it jammed. And so it just sucked in air and it acted as a chimney. And the Great Lafayette, because he had a real lion for the act, had the fire exits back behind blocked. And so no one back there could escape. And so they burned to death. Including the Great Lafayette, who escaped. Realized that he'd forgotten his horse inside, and so went back in to rescue his horse. And then burned to death. So it was a tragedy. I was busy crying through it. No real tears, just a lot of wetness in my eyes, and my throat was thick. But it was like, oh, this is really sad. But they still lied to me. This wasn't a magic trick that killed 11 people. This was just a normal tragedy. When am I going to see the magic trick that actually kills 11 people? Give me my blood. Give me my bread. Give me my circuses. Speaking of which, at 13 minutes in, I'm going to do this first and thank these people who played my internet game of Marco Polo, wherein I call out Marco into the void in the hopes that there are others who will hear and yell back Polo. And thank you very much to each and every one of you that plays my game. Nobody is required, but it is nice that people do. We have had Jesse Koskinen, thumbs up and thank you for your continued watching. It is appreciated. Almighty Monkey Power, who has been watching quite a few videos in my back catalog. Thank you very much. It is appreciated. And I've been watching your reviews. I am terrible at leaving comments. Daniel Fuller, 8762, thumbs up and thank you. We have Larry from Space. Oh, excuse me. I had tea just beforehand and my tummy was starting to go oof. I think I got a burp that wants to come up. Larry from Space, 1856. Thank you so very much. And sorry I've got a burp happening. Slow motion. In the middle of all this, we have Jack-05Z2J. Thumbs up and thank you. Chris1. Thumbs up and thank you. I am on the net. Thumbs up and thank you very, very much. And Toilet Decimator. Thumbs up and thank you too for playing my silly little internet game. Nobody has to play it. It is appreciated when people do. Thumbs up and thank you. And speaking of which, if you have watched this far, if you could type one card into the comments, Marco for number 1 to call back Polo to my call out into the void, and number 2, blatant engagement farming to let the YouTube algorithm know that people actually watched the video. Yay! Thumbs up and thank you. I will not force you to play this game. If you choose not to, that is a-okay. No judgment on my part. It's just a silly little thing that is a silly little thing. So thumbs up. Thank you. Really, really quick. I wanted to talk on my cryptid stuff fast because I've had it up here, and I think it's funny because it comes at it from an angle that is stupid. But I've talked about how there are a 13th kind of cryptids in my world, where the cryptids generally run in archetypes because they are at the whims of humanity's hopes and dreams and fears and wishes and nightmares and our best, our worst. They are not under control of any natural thing. It's all at the behest of humanity's subconscious. And so one of the types of cryptids is actually the 13th kind, because as much as they're at the whims of things, genetics also happen. And when you're working with genetics, that's messy stuff. There are mistakes. People have issues. There are genetic flaws. One of them is there is a cryptic energy that fills the world. And cryptids have to absorb this ambient energy or they will starve and die. They don't know this. Do fish know they're in water? No. They can't see the energy, they can't feel it, taste it, etc., but without it they die. 13th kind of cryptids, they can't. But there is an energy in human beings that can supplant that. So they have to occasionally eat human beings or they will starve to death and die. So they eat human beings. Then there are expressed cryptids where an expressed cryptid where you as a human being have some form of your cryptid genetics expressed and you become a cryptid, and it overwrites part of your personalities, and you could become a dark cryptid that would eat human beings. And there are also those people whose third eye opens. They stay human beings, but I say able to, but they are really only able to meaningfully interact with the cryptid world as their third eye is opened, and they can no longer meaningfully interact with the normal world. Genetic flaw again. They were supposed to be an expressed cryptid, but instead of the final change happening and their bodies becoming cryptid energy and cryptid matter, they stayed human. So they're cryptid in every way except their physical bodies. And so they're human, but they interact with the cryptid world. And because of this, they actually enjoy eating human meat, human products. So you've got some dark cryptids that eat human meat, and you've got other cryptids that will eat human meat. You've got the human beings that will eat human meat. All cryptids have a deep burning, constant need to fill their bellies with human meat. But unless you have to act within your nature, And if your nature does not allow you to eat human beings, you don't. So even though you had that constant burning need to fill your belly with human meat, if it's against your nature, it doesn't matter. You're not going to ever indulge. You could go out and be a caretaker for newborns for the rest of your life, and those newborns would be completely safe with you, even though you have a deep burning need to eat every single one of them. It's not in your nature. You're not even going to think about it. If you do think about it, you're going to start getting physically ill, so you're going to stop. But because it's not in your nature, you're going to be completely safe. Now, there are some regular human beings, though. Like if you have cryptid parents, it's unlike most things, it is a binary. You are either a cryptid or you are not. So if you have a cryptid parent and a human parent, it's going to be coin flip for whether or not you are going to be human or cryptid. But if you're born human, you're still going to be able to interact on a normal basis with your cryptid parents and your cryptid siblings, and be able to interact on a normal basis with the regular world. You're going to got the best of both worlds in that you interact with the cryptid world, but you're not a cryptid. So what do these people, the most important question of all, what do these people, these human beings, nothing cryptid about them. They are not cryptids. Nothing is expressed. They are straight, flat human beings. The most important question is, what do they think about eating human meat? Because I'm trying to stay within like a 1 year period in the actual story part of the cryptid setting that I'm working on. Just like on the Razor's Edge, where it works on a 1 year period, a year in the life. Also in the cryptid setting, it's a year in the life. One of the things that happens is this trio, a triplet of brothers, start up the Uncle Bonbons Corporation, which starts marketing in an ethical manner human products for consumption for cryptids and later for humans with their third eye open. That way, cryptids don't have to go out and kill and eat other human beings. They can just go to Uncle Bonbons and grab some meat. And they become very ubiquitous to the point that eventually everybody's got some on them. So everybody that you see is pretty much constantly snacking on products, food products and snack products made out of human beings, from jerky to cryptids popping, human teeth into their mouths to crunch and chew on, candy floss hair. When you filter out all of the solid products to just the plasma and human blood, that is very sweet to cryptids, and if you then concentrate and dry it, you can use that as a solids sweetener or keep it liquid form, and you can use it in products like Hema-Cola, which is it's a carbonated cola drink, but it's sweetened by that product. This was the first product in their line of soda products. But they have a lot of products, all of them based on human beings. And later on, when they open up their larger stations, then they start making sandwiches and burgers made from, sliced human meat and ground human meat and all of the human jerky and such like that. You can just go up and buy it. What would these people think as they wander around and everyone around them is snacking on something that was once a vital part of a once living, breathing human being? When you're a part of that world, it's normal, and you don't notice normal. If you're walking around in the cold weather and people are wearing cold weather jackets. Do you notice that? No. You notice when somebody's not wearing a jacket, though. Because you don't notice normal. But stuff that's not, oh, you notice that. So everyone chowing down on stuff made out of people? Yeah, that's normal. You don't notice normal. In fact, they'll probably stop off at a Third Eye stand and grab a 2-pound bag of human jerky themselves. Thumbs up. And call to action, if you could like, comment, share, subscribe, that'd be very cool. And of course, to each and every one of my Patreon patrons, you are beautiful and awesome people. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise, because they are lying in every single way. Thumbs up and thank you for your help. If you've left me a comment, you too are beautiful and awesome in your own way. Thumbs up and thank you so very much. And I know there's more, and I've gotten lost on that. Lost in ADHD brain. Well, still, life is life on that. So I'm just going to jump past, hopefully, all that stuff and say thumbs up and thank you for watching and all of this. I am going to edit, render, upload, walk to the hospital, and hospital to the library, and then get my printing done. Come on back, hopefully make up the cards. Hopefully you can get done the things that you would like to get done. That would be very, very cool. And a good thing. Definitely a thumbs up on that. If you can't do that, though, please do not beat yourself up, because it will not help you get it done better next time, and you deserve better. So, hokey smokes. I wish my brain hadn't failed just then, but it certainly did. And the calluses on the sides of my fingers here are driving me nuts, because they keep peeling and flaking and cracking. But at the same time, if I didn't have calluses, this would just be torn open every time I tie my shoelaces. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble Englishing all of a sudden, or maybe not even all of a sudden throughout the entire video. Again, my sincere apologies. But yeah, I used to tear my fingers apart tying my shoes. For whatever reason, I wasn't building up calluses. But now I've been taking care of my hands with more lotion, and I've built up calluses. Make your hands softer to make your hands rougher. Thumbs up for that. At least they're not getting torn open anymore. Well, I can't remember what else I was going to say, so let me leave it with this. Until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing. If you've watched this far and you are curious, I've downloaded a bunch of at least the demos or prologues for a bunch of simulator type games, so I'm hoping to do more of those for the channel. I was going to talk about a different thing called Infinite Dungeon Crawl, I think it was. But I'll have to talk about that tomorrow. Anyway, let me click over here so I can get to the stop recording button. And then let me click that stop recording button.